Yo, what is good, my anime people? What is good, yo? Guys, we have just seen probably one of the most craziest build-ups of a show back in the days ever. Like, if this show is literally going step by step on how the actual anime ends and stuff like that, man, I missed out on an old school classic, and I kind of can't wait to see what actually it looks like with full on, you know, the way that they present it back in the day compared to this, because right now this is so hype, and mainly it's because of how dope it looks throughout all of it. Um, the transference of how they are actually explaining why his fighting style feels goofy to him is because his arms are actually longer, and then not only are his arms longer, he holds the blade at a different like length. So just really little small details like that that they actually put into the fight, and these are the things that I'm, actually worried about in the case of if he gained these arms and limbs during a battle, which last week's episode set up pretty nicely for, to just be like, oh yeah, he it's possible to gain limbs, but if he does, he might be in the middle of combat, so it might not be the best time to gain them. But yeah, it blows my mind to see just how much stuff they can put in these episodes, um, and just focus on, this character's going through all of this fighting by himself, and then we go back to the other characters who kind of don't have that much choral when it comes down to fighting, so to speak. Like, the mother, she should be there supporting all of the troops that are still in the castle or people that are trying to save her land, but she's not. She's looking for her son that her husband, the Lord, is literally calling demon leftovers. And in the other case, we have people who are finally finding. Yeah, I really gotta get the other thing. Finally finding their way of, thinking for themselves and how to fight for themselves. But then it comes down to they don't understand the fact that the reason why their land and all this stuff was good at any time was just because you were living off of someone else's limbs and body parts that were being sacrificed pretty much. So somehow, some way, you guys were happy about that and almost even willing, seemingly, to go back to that in hopes that this kid who's been fighting for his life since he was born, and now that he's here and he's like, what? he's two he's two eyes away from being complete. The only problem with that is, ever since we saw him on the horse, his like demonic part of him, when we saw him through the blind eyes, was a lot more taken up. Like, it's a lot more fulfilled to that. And the weird part is, everything now to him is green. Like, everything. Not like we saw that when he found like a Buddha statue from his mother that tried to help him, it was green, and it kind of seemed like it had some type of, ability or something that was coming off of it. Like in the case of uh, Natural and Homie or something like that. Like something that was good, and it wasn't just white, it was green. Like, white is like neutral, it could become anything, and green is kind of like something that seems like it should be, uh, a higher. It's like the opposite of red, it's just the polar opposite of it, and it just didn't feel like that in this case. So to see that and kind of not get an understanding of what they were trying to convey of why he was seeing all the green, I kind of just thought it was because he was becoming more demonic. So everything kind of has that green tinge to it. Instead of him seeing white when he's a human, that's how the old man sees it. But since he's becoming more of a demon, it's turning all green. Like, it's just not for him. It's for the people above, or a stronger power. I don't know. I'm really interested in seeing what pops off, because they haven't really addressed anything about the green like aura on stuff that's the polar of red, and then we have the white that we already know is just like a human or like someone practically normal. But what is green? But with that being said, the rest of the episode just ends off with everything going crazy in the castle. This man pretty much loses at we lose an awesome horse. We lose Ponita, or I don't know the evolved form right now, but we lose her. We lose like a dope horse. Hold on a second. We lose a dope horse. Not only that, we then go and see this horse do the coolest stuff ever while it's about to lose its life, biting off the person's head who pretty much just impaled it with the sword, and then kicking the other person so hard that they lose their real arm and not their demonic arm. So both the demonic arms that are attached to these bodies that are now headless and missing an arm still spring back into action to stab the horse yet again, and the horse still like has like pretty much walks it off and has a touching moment with its baby before it passes on. So even as a demon, this horse was showing more uh, human and loving instincts than anybody on the battlefield, and it was like a full-fledged demon at that point. So it's pretty rough how this is all playing out. Like, if that's an indication of anything, being impaled by swords and still winning the battle, I don't know what else can be like a little bit of a nudge at you, like, hey, this might be the ending of both of these demons that have came into this kingdom. They may win their battles, but will they be alive to see tomorrow? And yeah, so with all that being said, this episode was so wild. I didn't know when it was gonna stop until it just happened to stop. You hear the brother yelling in the background. He was like, okay, okay, oh, it stopped. Like that's as good as I knew it was about to stop. So very very good stuff by them this week. I can't. This is the stuff like video games that get remastered on the daily nowadays, and um, animes now are getting remastered at this point. I just want all of these shows to continue this great work, and the video game industry to continue their great work of making games over and better than they looked ever in the past. And then once they keep practicing and they master it, they start working on stuff that I love and care about to my heart's content, and I get to see it at that level. So I really hope this becomes a real thing, just people reanimating and maybe even adding a little bit of stuff from the story that didn't make it into the original, and because they have more time, or not even just more time, but they have a lot more people who are more dedicated to the information in there than they did in the past. Anything like that that helps is completely amazing, and I definitely will talk to you guys in the next video about whatever comes up. I don't think I'm going to do 3 videos today, but I'll definitely have this one out a little bit after I already have my other one out, so I'm going to let that one sit for a bit, and this one will come out a little bit later. So thank you guys so much for being patient with me and letting me know on things that I either say and I'm wrong about, and you guys correct me. It's amazing to know that I have a community that doesn't just say I'm an idiot and then just run away. They actually give me really detailed information about things that I asked or things that I didn't know about. So with all that being said, I hope we can continue to grow and continue to talk, everybody. So with all that, have an awesome day, night, evening. I am your boy, the Anime J, and I definitely wanted a perfect this match, but I'm not going to get it, so I'll end it with a special. If he hits me. Yikes. This is expert, by the way. Oh, now he wants to fight that I'm awakened. Got it. I have no defense and stuff. Now you can fight. Look, everybody can fight now. Stupid. Later, everybody.